Can you hear me, Eveline?
Now I can hear you. Yes.
Thank you.
Can you hear
I
me?
think we had a small hiccup with the sound. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I just introduce you again. I mean, you have such a fantastic
Can you
bio.
hear me, Eveline?
Yes.
So again, I'm very happy to welcome Eveline to the Unshakable Entrepreneur Live Show. Eveline, she has a PhD in psychology and neuroscience. She's an international recognized executive and speaker. She has supported well-known international customers for more than 12 years. She has a motto, and the motto is, it's high time to focus on the cognitive abilities, left and right cognitive minds. And that makes a difference. And we will talk about this topic in depth today, I hope. Her focus on leaders,
Yeah.
upskilling, and IQ and EQ improvement programs within the high-level management leadership is based on her background in psychology and neuroscience. And her concept for success, neuro-integrated upskilling, is unique, and her methods are obviously certified. Welcome to the show, Eveline.
Thank you. Thank you.
You have a very
Thank you,
impressive
Sebastian.
bio, Eveline.
Thank you.
And can you tell us more about your entrepreneurial journey? So how did you get there?
Well, I mean, like many of us, I think it just happened. It happened. You know, things just folded together in my life. I came here to Germany 20 years ago with a degree psychology, or as a psychiatrist, and within the environment at that time, U.S. environment, I was fine, but 1 year later I was alone because the environment that I worked in, English-speaking world within Germany, disappeared. So that I just said to myself, okay, I'd like to learn German, and then 1 year later or something like this, I might leave. This definitely didn't happen, and in 2009 I became a German myself. I'm Berliner, Berlin Charlottenburger, better said, and I really enjoyed this turnaround within my life, that you cannot only be one person, one profession, but also you can have different nationalities by choice. And I'm proud to be from Berlin. And so also in the international parquet, when I do speeches, then it's really cool to be introduced. Eveline Goodman Hetke from Berlin, Germany. It just does good to me, to be honest, because I'm a world citizen myself, and Berlin is home for 160 nations. So I experienced Germany to be, when I came over here, very liberal, very open, very Germans I found very, very curious. So they were like always asking me things I didn't know. So they're like asking me, okay, what's this called in English? And I was like, tap thingy, bottle thingy, I don't know. And what's that tree called in English? I'm like, it's a tree. What's that tree called in English? It's a tree. So, and I was fascinated that, sausage names, bread names, and Germans were really curious about these kind of things, when city person and ordinary English speaking person would just not really know all the tree names, all the fish names, or all this vocabulary eagerness. So this I found it very very fascinating. How did it all begin? After I was no longer working for the English-speaking environment in Germany, I decided to apply for different jobs in Eurocopter, in Siemens International companies, of course, who I could speak English, and working on my German. And then I started, writing my invoices at that time on 100 times copied digitalization in Germany. I hope we're going to get there today. So 100 times copied Honorarbasis, Rechnungen, invoices I wrote, and so on. That was really an learning curve. So it just actually happened to me because I looked for opportunities when learning German, and I started liking Germany, as said. And I always say I learned, being very precise, being punctual, and certain things that the world needs, the certain qualities that world needs you to have: reliability, punctuality, being ambitious about, do it only once and then don't do it again. So the certain things really entrenched in my personality over the years. I'm 42 and I came here really 20 years ago, so like from 20s and 30s, and your environment certainly forms who you are. So that's basically it. And at that time, I began with the psychology, developing psychometric tests, and so on. But then, when I came to Berlin in 2002 from Bavaria, I set up my own company, E4P. One can see on my LinkedIn profile. And today we are just supporting. I just do a little bit fast forward. I cannot tell you the whole 20 years what I did. So, then the coincidences, the being an open antenna all the time for new things, for opportunities, getting out of your comfort zone, brought me to neuroscience and then to neurofeedback. And indeed today I'd like to spread the word about how important it is to combine both of our cognitive perceptions, two computer processors we have in our heads, and then understanding this, who we are, as an autonormal brain owner, I say all the time. So this is my career path. This is how it all began. I allowed things happen to me, to answer it straightforward.
Thank you. I mean, I know many people who came to Germany. They said, they stay a year or they stay 2 years, and they're here for eternity. I mean, I have many friends in Frankfurt who did exactly the same way. So. And I love Berlin, I have to admit. I mean, when we can more travel again, I definitely have to get back to Berlin and come back to this place. But
you're very welcome.
Neuroscience. I mean, this sounds very interesting topic for me, and especially for our listeners, for watchers, for entrepreneurs, to understand how we can optimize our both cognitive minds. So. Can you tell us more about some key aspects of that?
Yes, certainly. First of all, I'd like to say I took training from a podcaster to bring this complex topic into a story, because I didn't know how to explain right at the beginning. My workshops were very boring. I couldn't reach my audience right at the beginning. So let me just tell it in a sense of storytelling, right? So we have two cognitive perceptions, how do I say? We've got two computer processors in us. Mm-hmm. Our right hemisphere works like a parallel processor. Our left hemisphere works like a linear processor. So that means linearly, left hemisphere just separates things from one another. So black, white, work, life, Schnaps is Schnaps, beer is beer. So separating things all the time. Comparison. Whenever you compare yourself with the others, so he is like this, I'm like that, etc., then you're in your left cognitive mind. Parallel processor that we have, which is refers to the right perception, right cognitive perceptions, is that you've got this ability. We all have it. So who's got a head has got a right hemisphere. So we all can do this. We've got this ability of zooming out, looking at ourselves from a bird perspective. It's the feeling of wholeness. This is the feeling of connecting to, if you believe in God, connecting to universe, being part of the whole, etc. All these perceptions and feelings, and you just feel them, then you're right in the right hemisphere, in the parallel processor. So, and they're both connected with a highway, corpus callosum. And when we train both of our processors, then we're just going to give ourselves a better chance. Together is better. We say all the time, we know that, but both of our hemispheres, depending on our daily stress, blocks each other as well. So if you just compare yourself to hard work, analytical work, comparison work, those who work with the data, for instance, every day, conceptual work, then you have to come down, stimulate the right hemisphere, the parallel processor in the evenings. How do I do this? You can give a hug to your son or to your daughter. You can give a hug or a kiss or a nice atmosphere, enjoy your atmosphere, really consciously being there with your partners, etc. This all stimulates the right hemisphere. It's not only about sitting and doing a meditation, right? It's not about only, certainly as well, concepts of mindfulness. I'm really scared to say the word mindfulness because it's any time when you are here and now, you're stimulating the right hemisphere from the scientific point of view, right? So I don't want to go and use these terminology that everybody uses it. So whenever you're consciously there, breathing, you can also just right now, when listening to me, pay attention to your own breathing pattern, how you're breathing in and out, right? How you're listening to me, what my tone is, what kind of impression it's leaving on you. And then when you're 100% here and now, you're already right in the parallel processor. So this is what the neuroscience is about, and both of these parts, right and left hemisphere, can be trained, right? So brain is a muscle. So this is also new information. Neuroscience is new. Until 1990s, very late, very, very late, we did not know brain is plastic.
Okay.
So neuroplasticity, the ability that the brain can build new neuropaths, and those that are not used can shrink when not used. This knowledge is only 20 years old. Before we thought, the IQ tests that are still used are created, and and the IQ tests that are used today, they're still being used. And it's high time to create a complete different IQ test, considering the social quotient of this person, low quotient of this person, etc. So actually we are right at the beginning.
Amazing. So, I mean,